Hello, everybody. How are we all doing tonight?
Good.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that because I care. I really do. I care not just about how everyone here is doing, but I care about the well-being and safety of the public in general. That's why I don't drive. It's not that I consider cars to be dangerous per se, but in my hands they are because I am very easily distracted. I'm so easily distracted, I actually don't need anything to distract me. Just by myself, I can get distracted by my own thoughts enough to just completely space out and not know what's going on. It actually turned out that a bike was too much for me. I had a bike for one summer, and I got hit by 3 cars. And my friends kind of insisted that I could put the kibosh on the bike riding. And each time it was my fault, too. It was the terrible part, because I'd go out in front of someone all of a sudden, and I'd have to lay there in a bloody heap like, oh, sorry, man. I was always being hit by these very concerned, sensitive people who were very worried about the fact that they just hit someone on a bike, so I felt like an asshole for jumping out in front of them and disturbing them and hurting their feelings. You know what I mean? The only problem with the bike is they get stolen. Now, rich people never have their bikes get stolen. It just doesn't happen because they're rich people. They just have it for exercise. They go out and it's like, I'm on a bike. I'm riding. I'm getting my exercise. Then they take it home and they put it in the garage. Maybe they'll leave it for 5 minutes outside of a coffee shop or something, but you need like a kryptonite saw to get through their $3,000 lock. That's never happening. The bikes that get stolen are poor people bikes. They're the bikes that are chained up in front of the donut shop for 10 hours at a time because someone's working a crazy shift and it's just like got some twine with a lock that doesn't really work. It's just there for show, but if you try it, you know it's fake. Someone runs off with it. I hate that shit. That is the worst crime, really, is bike stealing, especially when someone really needs that bike. You know, it's their way to and from work. Like, I had my bike stolen one time, and I happened to be very lucky, thanks to my rat, and I got it back. Backstory. I don't know if anyone knows this, but rats laugh. I found out about this. I don't know, it's true, it's true. They laugh very much like people, and they have similar tastes in comedy. They tend toward the broad and physical. I had a very large rat, about 2 pounds, and her name was Elvis. And because I'm easily distracted, I had left the cage door open as I was getting ready for work. That's true, I am very easily distracted. I mean, sometimes I just... Oh, hi guys. Yeah, so, you know, she ran out, she got under the stove. I'm trying to chase her. I saw her go, and I slipped, and I fell. Flat on my ass. And then I heard the little sound from underneath the stove go, oh, that's what it sounds like when they laugh. So it took me about 45 minutes to work her out from under there. My bike had been stolen 2 days ago, and I was fucking pissed off. So I'm late for work, I'm going, I walk, I stop at a light, and what should happen? But a 13-year-old kid rides up on my bike and stops right in front of me. Just waits for the light to change with a stupid fucking look on his face. I walked up to him and said, hey man, that's my bike. And he said immediately, oh, someone was stealing bikes. He jumped up. And I immediately, you know, I put together what goes on. I'm like, okay, cool. How much did you pay for that, man? And he said, well, $50. And I went, and I dropped him. I mean, he was half my size, so it wasn't a real big accomplishment, but I still fucking dropped him. I don't care he was a kid. You know he was talking. It was a $300 bike, you paid $50 for it, you know where it came from. You thought you were so cool, too, telling your friends, oh, you know, I'm a cool guy riding around on my stolen bike. Well, guess what? This was Fredericton, New Brunswick. You want to steal bikes? You might want to paint them or something. Change the look up a little bit, because it's too small a place. You're going to run into the person who was riding it before, and they're going to see it, and they're going to pancake you. That's the way it should be. I'm sure he learned a valuable lesson. Welcome to thug life, bitch. If I had my way, they'd GTA that shit, and they'd have the police helicopters out there like, we see him on the bike. We see him on the bike, and we are hunting him down. Oh, on that note, if I go like this, and I'm not wearing any clothes when I do it, I do a really good impersonation of a helicopter. Now, this brings me to a portion of the set that I think is very important, because I'm kind of looking back over my notes from the past few times, and like, it's all like, you know, less poop, more dick, like, fart here, fart there, more dick, less poop, less dick, no, that never happens. But, you know, I feel like I should try to bring a little enlightenment to the people, maybe, and just like make it into have a little educational subsection. This is my attempt to do that. I think that we all kind of agree that learning sucks, right? But sex is fun. So most of these are sexual learning, and we can hopefully get some fun, and we can have fun and learn together. Fact! Very little is known about the mating habits of the doodlebug. You wouldn't think so, but it's true. Fact! Centipedes do not have sex, so there's no reason to picture them doing it. Just let that sink in for a minute. They will give you a back rub you will never forget. Oversharing personal fact. 2 years ago, I was circumcised for medical reasons and had to teach myself to masturbate again. Because it is totally different. Totally different action, totally different material. It's a whole new world. At the age of 28, I had to relearn to masturbate. That's not really an educational fact. That's just something about me. I'll throw that in there. Fact! Fruit flies are exceptionally resistant to radiation, but fruit is not. Hey, nature! Way to drop the fucking ball. Fact, the praying mantis, the female praying mantis, will bite off the head of her lover during intercourse because the spasms of his dying body actually last longer than he does. This is a species that is seriously in the market for Viagra. I'm amused by sexual cannibalism. I see it as kind of like the next logical step to marriage, you know. I mean, you know, you're like of one flesh and you join together with a person, and that's kind of like, obviously, well, you eat somebody, you're together forever, really. Well, not forever, I mean, a couple days, long story short.